This is a video response to Sned Meister. Even though Sned did not make the video to me, he made it to Lyrics of Dust. I just wanted to make an observation of what you said. Something you said at the beginning of your video was challenge somebody's opinions and you might get a little bit of pushback, but challenge somebody's beliefs and you get a much stronger reaction. Yeah, that's an interesting concept for sure. A lot of people would say that there's no difference between opinions and beliefs, but I think you're onto something. I think, excuse me, opinions are more like, well, this is what I think is going on here, almost like a belief that's in its infancy and is still impressionable. It's still kind of soft and can be molded. And then once you have a belief structure, it's very rigid and well thought out and well formed. So if that's the way that you were trying to differentiate opinions from beliefs, then I would agree with you there. And I'd like to chime in as to why I think people are so defensive about their beliefs. Like they will defend their beliefs to the end. They will defend their beliefs very, very vigorously. For example, you have somebody who was raised Muslim, for example, and they were told from a very impressionable age that you are a Muslim, therefore you are to act this way. These are the people you are to like. These are the people you are to hate. You are to be afraid of the people that you hate. Jews, for example, other infidels, the West, basically, in general. And you form these beliefs at a very impressionable age where when you're very young, it's very easy to form a belief structure because it's the first thing that your brain wants to do when you're born and when you're growing up. That's the first thing. You're looking for things to cling on to. So that explains the world around you. And so if you have an authority figure that's near you and says, okay, this is what's going on. The reason why the world is messed up is because of the Jews, or the reason why the world is messed up is because of black people, or the reason why the world is messed up is because of white people, or the reason why the world is messed up is because of the West, or the, whatever. And so, you form those very early on, and it makes sense, and you just kind of bite into it hook, line, and sinker because your parents who love you and take care of you are feeding this to you. But then, of course, there's millions of examples of people who actually do change their belief structures later on in life. Now, there's probably just as many examples of people who don't change their belief structures. But what I want to get to is something, a deeper truth when it comes to belief. A deeper truth when it comes to belief is that belief has there's a funny element to belief. I want you to try to follow me here. The element to belief, what makes beliefs different from any other types of thoughts, are they have this self-fulfilling prophecy element to them. For example, you're told at a very early age, time and time and time again, by an authority figure that you are a piece of shit, that you'll never amount to anything. Everything you do is wrong. Everything you do is stupid. You're a moron, basically. Why can't you be more like your brother? Why can't you be more like your sister? Why can't you be more like the kid down the street? Something wrong with you. How many people who are told that consistently and who are treated that way, how many people break out of that Not very many. How many people who are told that and who are raised that way actually end up doing exactly what their parents told them they would do, becoming a loser, ending up in jail, failing in school, failing in their career, not finding a soulmate or whatever, end up on the street or whatever. It's a funny thing. These how beliefs, even if what you believe is totally false. To believe is to act as if. To believe isn't just to sit in your room and say, well, maybe things are like this. To believe is to actually act out. To act as if. And once you start acting as if you're a loser, then you become a loser. And when you become a loser, other people look at you and say, he's a loser, and they start treating you like a loser. And then you get the social cues from other people, and that just reinforces the fact that you're a loser. Other people look at you and say, he's a loser. When you look at other people, it's like looking in a mirror. People treat you like a loser, and you continue to act like a loser. They see that you're acting like a loser, and they continue to treat you like a loser. It's a feedback loop. Juxtapose that to the opposite. You have a child who's raised in a loving, caring atmosphere, and they're told you're a good boy, you're a good girl. One day you're going to be successful. One day you are going to be a doctor, a lawyer, a politician. Not that politician is a good thing to be. One day you're going to be the president of the United States. That used to be something that people aspired to be. Not anymore, apparently. But back in the 50s, everybody was like, I want to be the president of the United States. It was like people actually wanted to be that. Nowadays, it's like, you're going to own your own business someday. You're going to be a sports star someday. You're going to be on the cover of a magazine, some success magazine. You're going to do this. You're going to achieve this. You're going to achieve that. Kids are encouraged, and voila. A lot of them, maybe not all of them, but many of them, end up doing exactly because they act as if all that stuff is true. Beliefs are funny that way. That's how they're different from opinions. So if you have somebody who's acting as if, and then they're getting feedback from the rest of the world that it's true, you're a successful person, everybody loves you. You take like really famous people, right? They go out and they get adoration from fans all the time. Fans always tell them how great they are. They surround themselves with sycophants who tell them how great they are. They walk out on stage and everybody loses it and goes nuts, and they grow up believing that there's something special about them. Even though that's probably really not that true. Like if you got to know that person behind the stage, behind closed doors, are a dreadful, horrible asshole of a person who does not deserve all that adoration. But their belief system is supported not only by their external environment, but by the way that they look at themselves. So when you try to challenge that, they're vehemently against it, because they're like, no, look, you don't understand me. I've gotten clarification. I've gotten verification that my beliefs are true. You don't know what you're talking about. The world is like this. You don't know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I've spent a lifetime building this belief structure and getting feedback from the rest of the world as to the verification of my belief structure being true, that I'm great, or I'm a piece of shit, or I'm somewhere in the middle. You're just coming into this from the outside and trying to tell me that I'm wrong. You don't have all the information that I have. That's why I think beliefs are they're different than any other type of thought. Beliefs are powerful, man. Beliefs are the most powerful aspects of your mind, of your whole thought process, your beliefs. You know, if you look at your whole mind as a building, you know, as like a high-rise skyscraper, your beliefs are the foundation of the entire structure, because you build everything on your beliefs, you know. And a lot of our beliefs are obviously true, right? We believe in gravity. We believe that if we hold something in our hand and then we let it go, that it'll fall down to the ground, and that gets verified every single time we do it. Every single time we do that, it gets verified. So then if somebody comes along and says, no, gravity's not a real thing, if you hold a golf ball in the air and let it go, it's going to float. It's not going to fall to the ground. And then you're just like, dude, you're not going to accept that, because you've gotten so many confirmations that your belief that gravity takes over and pulls that thing down to the ground. You've gotten millions of confirmations that that's correct. So you're not going to accept what that person says. How is it any different from the way we see the world, or the way we see ourselves in not in concrete ways like gravity, but in abstract ways? You know, like some people believe that the world is an extremely hostile place. Some people think that people in general suck and are evil. A lot of people don't hold those beliefs, though. Some people believe they're a piece of shit, while other people believe that they're something special. A lot of what we believe is based on how we act. If we act as if, you act as if, you know, you act as if you have value, and all of a sudden you do have value, and other people see that you have value because you're acting as if you have value. And then people start treating you like you have value because you believe that you have value, and you're acting as if you have value. And then you get reinforced in the outside world. People are like, wow, people actually value me. People see me as a good guy, a smart guy, whatever. Funny guy, good guy. And they believe that about you because you're acting that way. I just think it's funny.